Basic gunning for Hoon right now. And what do you have left to try and protect them? We see the Matilda and Terizla come out.
Oh my god, I don't think we've seen a single Terizla until the grand finals in NACD fall season. This is the debut, and it looks fantastic. I think it's amazing on the side lane. There's not too much counter to it. This is just a beefy tank that has those beefy, really, really good engages if you land it. It's all about clumsiness, right? So what is a good choices to counter this Terizla on the side lane? Are we going to see Esmeralda, or are we going to see something else?
I mean, we're wondering if the Esmeralda's still viable, right? We're wondering, she got that nerf, and we haven't gotten to see her in competitive play yet. I'm sure in the right hands, she still could be decent, but he's going to pick it up, so there it goes. This
There's
will be
the
the
answer.
test. But the Terizla, right? I saw him in the patch notes. I see him get this slight buff, and I'm like, I don't know. I mean, he was definitely broken when they revamped him, and like everyone was running him. Then they nerfed him, and they brought him down. But is this something that Chicken's had up his sleeve?
Well, and then you have to consider that slight buff to Terizla and that slight nerf to Esmeralda. Does that put them on an even playing field in the XP lane? We're gonna find out here very shortly.
Absolutely, ladies and gentlemen. It's time to end the anxiety, sit under a palm tree, get some iced tea, and it is about to go overseas as we are about to step into game one. What an interesting draft right off the bat, ladies and gentlemen. Oh my god, that was some surprise. But without further ado, I think game one is already underway. So let's quickly jump into the Land of Dawn.
Yeah, this is it. This is what sets the tone for the rest of the night. If you can get a victory here, you will have that momentum rolling into the rest of the day. It's going to be game one here. The Valley taking on the Simpsons.
All right, so there's a few things we have to set up front, right? Now, we look at the side of the Simpsons, and it does seem a little bit squishier, maybe even a little bit less mobility than the Valley. So I think the Simpsons need to be careful in these early stages. They need to also be able to focus in onto this gold lane. But if they can take these early stages and get Eugen where he needs to be, there's no escape. There's no escape for Basic with that claw. The BMI is not going to help you. You know, he's going to be able to dash in and get those pickoffs. But wait a second.
You see Fly Chicken already putting on the boots to Arville there as well. He was already cutting the lane, and there really wasn't much that the Simpsons could do to stop it. You see him still up there trying to cut the lane. And now we see Shark coming in here to put on a little bit of offense onto there to let them know that he is in their jungle.
Yeah, Eugen possibly in some trouble here, and this is what the Valley needs to do. They just need to be aggressive. They need to do what they always do and try to shove into the Simpsons' face.
Nice wall there. We are starting things off quite early. Eugen already able to take a kill off of Shark there. We are continuing on the pressure, picking up that gold lane, but you see over in the mid lane, Eugen, a lot of damage gets taken out by Fly Chicken.
That is a hype start to this match, Private. It's 1-1 on the board. Gold at a slight lead over to the side of the Valley. Fallen is stealing some camps right now, and Turtle's going to be up in about 30 seconds. And I think right now, the Valley maybe wants to back off. They need to be careful for Eugen. The damage, we're seeing it. We're seeing the possibilities of this Gus. So now they know, all right, maybe we can't be as aggressive as we were.
Yeah, I mean, even that, you've got these two assassins just putting on a major amount of damage here, but they need to keep that pressure on, because once you lose that momentum, once you start taking deaths or making mistakes, right here, another, Promise Scott gets away just in time. We have the Turtle coming up here in 2 seconds. We're trying to zone them out. Super Shark here trying to maintain some vision, pulling the Turtle over to his side. We see a wall come out there, very nicely placed by Arville as well. Eugen coming down here does go ahead and land that onto Hoon. 4 players for the side of the Valley. We don't see enough here from the Simpsons, so I'm not sure if they're going to be able to get it here. We're still buying it up there. It does look like it's going to take and be picked up by Mobazane.
You know, I think Fallen just made the decision. He stayed by the blue buff. He's like, I'm not going to go for it. There's 4 of them. We had promised back at base right then, and it was a smart play, I think. We don't want to force this. And this makes us feel kind of good for the Simpsons, but the Valley, they definitely have the aggression. And with Shark, I mean, the Matilda, it's been a signature pick of his for a very long time. He takes a mobility hero, and you ask for peel, and not everyone knows how to use the Matilda as peel, but he makes it work so well. From engage to disengage to saving your life with that guiding, with the circling eagle. I mean, he makes it happen for the team.
I mean, looking at the map here, how many times have you seen somebody outcut a lane on an Esmeralda? We're seeing that right now with Fried Chicken. A little bit of a standoff here in the mid lane, but both teams gonna go think better about this engagement.
I gotta say, I like the fact that they're both taking it very slow. We're at 3 minutes now, right? So, I mean, they're moving in. No one making any huge plays. They know lots on the line here. To set the stage, I mean, everything is on the line here. And like you said, it's one game. Wait a second, Fly Chicken.
Yeah, Fly Chicken in a little bit of trouble. Just get popped up there. We do see the damage coming down here. He is able to flicker out of the way, and now they might be in a little bit of trouble as Eugene gets taken out there. Mobazane down for the count, and both teams going to go ahead and separate here. It is a 1 death apiece for both teams.
1 for 1 for 1 for 1. They are going, and Eugene almost getting Chicken a beautiful flicker, but in the end, Mobazane goes down. Now, up in this gold lane, for a second it seemed like Cold World was possibly getting better, but now that we've gotten a little bit more into this game, we're definitely seeing Basic come out on top, but I think this could be a problem for the Simpsons if they don't start focusing up there. They need to do something about Basic because that Blazing Duet is going to hurt a lot when we get into the end game.
Speaking of which, we have 3 members of the Valley. Cold World actually might be in trouble here. We do see that Circling Eagle does land onto it, and taken down is Cold World without a response from the Simpsons.
Yeah, and they're going to get that gold plating. Simpsons do decide to go for the turtle. It's a nice turtle cam there, so we're going to see what's happening down here.
Yeah, they are going ahead and starting on it. Not able to make anything happen. In comes Fly Chicken with that penalty zone. Fallen, actually taking a decent amount of damage, is able to get out of the way, but Eugene able to clean up Fly Chicken. We see Mobazane coming in with that Shadow Assault, able to take down Eugene and the rest of the Simpsons trying to disengage. Basic picks up the turtle. Fallen goes down. Next is Arvo on the chopping block. Promise is not long for this world. Gets taken down as well. It is 4 players from The Simpsons down.
You know the crowd has chills right now. I have chills right now, and this is the thing about the Valley time and time again. It seems even. It seems like sometimes maybe even they're losing, but you get into this mid-game, and they find that one moment, and they just take a huge lead. And now we're looking at what? 37 to 30, or no, 17 to 13, a nice gold lead for the side of the Valley. Now we are going to have a quick promo coming up, so make sure you get your phones out, type in the code. It's only for the first 30 or the first 9 users. Make sure you use that in the redeem link in the description.
And 9 is not a lot, so have some fast fingers there. We are still seeing at the mid lane a lot of pressure, even at 2v3 right now. The gold about 4K in the favor of the Valley right now, only at about the 5-minute mark here. So the Valley really has to come together here if they don't want to get overrun and snowballed.
Yeah, they definitely gotta do something in that. I mean, the whole time. The whole time the gold has been slowly going up. It stayed kind of at a standstill, but once that big maniac happened, the Valley is now just taken off. So the Simpsons now definitely on a back foot. Luckily, Cold World only has the 1 death, and taking a look at some of these items, Amon has brought in that magic wand, possibility to do some damage, but the Valley doesn't want to give them any space.
Ooh, we see a wall come out, does separate Shark from the rest of the team, but he is going to be able to find himself an exit from that fight. So they are still trying to put on the pressure here, still trying to kind of find that momentum, the Simpsons are, especially with the Valley. Right now, 7-3, we're starting to hit that point when they start snowballing into it. Hoon! Whoa! We do see the Endless Charge land onto him, and he gets cleaned up by Fallen. But up at the top, they're able to pick up a tower. Argo in trouble. Here comes the Blazing Duet, staying just outside the range of that inhibitor tower. Fly Chicken putting on the damage onto Promise as well. And, I mean, they're in a little bit of trouble here. Promise trying to protect this tower as much as he can. Here comes the Falling Star Moon now as well, getting a little bit of shield there, feeding off of it, and only 1 more minion left here means that this tower is going to survive.
I mean, Promise is doing a good job, right? He's tanky enough to be able to sit there in between 3 members. Also down at the Valley's orange buff, we are seeing Fallen trying to get the steal there, right? So they're being a little proactive. Even though they're falling a bit behind, they're being proactive on the map, and there still are opportunities. Now, we looked at those items a second ago, and Shark, first thing he picks up is that Athena shield. And I mean, now we're already seeing Eugene not doing a whole lot, and if the rest of the team can just pick that up, that Gushin could become possibly useless.
Yeah, we see that Mobazane able to pick up that turtle without any type of reaction, or I mean, not a response from the Simpsons. There's very little that they can do. We see the wall shot coming out there, does pop up 2 members. Endless Charge comes out the turn. He does survive. There goes the black shoes as well. Cold World trying to get away. Just a sliver of health left. Fallen goes down there. Here comes the Falling Star Moon. Cleans up Shark, but he does not make it out. Promise goes down there. We do see the penalty zone coming onto Eugene there, and he gets cleaned up quite quickly, and another tower going over to the Valley.
That is definitely a rough start. And not a rough start, but a rough middle game. We're starting to see the Valley catch more and more of their momentum. And the Simpsons trying to find answers, right? We had a nice wild charge from Arvel there. Taking a look at the replay. Gets everyone up. Eugen, the damage just isn't starting to be there. And the Endless Charge just doesn't get the finish. And those are those small things the Valley always seems to slide away with. 1 HP getaways. And Promise trying to get something. I don't know if that was a good or a bad play, but he plays the price for one hero. And White Chicken now has a space to clean up Eugen, but they are still just going at it as the Valley continues to invade and take away from the Simpsons.
And yeah, we were talking about this earlier. This is the price you pay with a composition like this. Once you start getting behind, it is very hard to catch up, even when you make the right plays. A perfect wild charge pops up the Valley, but you don't have the damage anymore. You don't have the momentum on your side. Even with Promise coming on from the side with that falling star moon, it wasn't enough to take down the Valley. This next tower going over to them as well. They are putting on the pressure. You see the Simpsons trying to back off here, trying to defend this inhibitor tower. We still have one more tower down at the bottom before we are left with only inhibitors. And with shards coming out, it is not enough to take down Fried Chicken. He is just so thick on that Terizla.
Definitely a thick boy, we got to say. Chicken definitely doing amazing in this game, but Lord is up, as we can see on the screen, and looks like the Valley's going to go for this, and I'm wondering, are the Simpsons going to try to contest this?
Yeah, it's a very risky move when you're so far behind. You got to think about, do you want to just try something or kind of play it safe? And now we see the Circling Eagle does land onto Arbor, who's going to be able to get out of the way with that wild charge. And thankfully, the Simpsons don't take a kill there, but that Lord goes over to the Valley.
You know, I gotta say, that Circling Eagle, for a second you think, all right, Shark, what are you doing? You're going a little too deep. Are they gonna catch you? But the reality is that's the bait. That is the bait, and the Simpsons did not bite there, so you gotta throw a little respect for them, right? Because you had Mobazane in that bush right behind you. You had the rest of the team right in that bush right behind, and they're like, yeah, try to take Shark real fast. Try to use all your skills on him, because we are gonna clean you up after that. And the Simpsons decide to keep it safe. We're not gonna fall for those mistakes right now. You can have a couple jungle buffs here. We're gonna try to defend for this Lord and bring this to the end game.
Yeah, we see Eugen gonna have to expend that flicker. Arvel coming in here is taking a heap of damage, is gonna be able to get away. We see the Lord bounding its way to the top. Minions at the mid and bottom lane. They're definitely gonna be able to pick up that bottom tower. Here comes the engagement. Now Eugen takes a heap of damage. Mobazane with that Shadow Assault able to get himself back to safety on the outside of that wall. And here comes the Lord at the top. Full health, putting on the damage to this tower. You wouldn't even think it was a non-luminous Lord, as they are able to make the most of it, and they are pushing in with it. Here comes the penalty zone. They are pushing in onto the Simpsons. Down goes Arvel. Fallen is able to get back to safety. We are putting damage onto this core right now. Down goes Fallen. Promise follows closely behind, but Mobazane and Coleworld trade and go down.
Eugen!
Wow! Look at the Simpsons
Eugen!
able to defend here with about 1/3 of health left on this core.
What just happened, Private? What? I was about to call it. I was like, GG! But the thing is, this Eugen gets back on the map just in time, and the burst damage did come in clutch there. The tower shots started connecting. The Valley thought they had it, and the Simpsons lived to see another day.
However, I mean, did they really lose anything there? They got all the way down to one inhibitor tower. They have such a lead that it wasn't even that detrimental for them. We're talking about a 6K gold lead still, even with an almost full team wipe on the side of the Valley. So while the Valley might have gotten a little greedy there, maybe it just was one of those the prices that they knew they would have to pay if they wanted to try to close this early, and not really much that the Simpsons could do to kind of combat it. Because even look here now, they're still being pushed back. They have no ownership over their jungle. They're being cleaned out and are not able to get the gold back.
Yeah, I mean, it's not going to be an easy road if they want to come back. And like you said, yes, you can. All that sacrifice, totally worth it. You have both of these inhibitors now. You have the base down to 50%. It will heal up, but you have pretty much a guarantee on this next Lord, unless the Simpsons can do something really cheeky, something really sneaky, which they do have the Assassins to possibly do that, but the Valley is known to not make mistakes. Now, Simpsons are zoning. They're playing the field right here, but I got a feeling they're kind of falling into the Valley's hands. Look at Mobazane. Look at Shark. They're on this map. They're ready to keep them at bay, and the Simpsons know they can't stay that long. They have to approach this very, very carefully.
And just look at the macro. They go ahead, make sure that fly chicken is pushing the bottom while they're setting up for this Lord. So not only do you have to contend and decide whether you want to take this Lord, but now you have minions pushing at the bottom. So now you got a time limit on how much you can fight here and make something happen. You see them kind of putting on some damage, vying for position here. 1/3 health left on this Lord. Yujin doesn't get caught up there. Oh, and that Lord does go to MOBA Zane right now, and they are chasing. Down goes Fall, and Cobra follows closely behind now. They are putting on the damage. They're not trying to let them go. Hoon gets taken down again. Yujin, though, follows behind. It is a 3-for-2-1 trade right now. Arville's trying to make it to safety as the rest promise here, trying to put on the damage. Is it going to be enough? Trying to get that shield, that regen. Oh, he's down to about 10% health. It's just Arville left here between a Lord and 4 other members of the Valley. 10% left, and this is game 1 going over to the Valley.
Yeah, a good game. We won 14 minutes. The Simpsons, in the beginning, put up an amazing fight. I think a lot of us were questioning if their nerves were going to kick in, and in my eyes, I didn't think they felt that nervous in their gameplay. The Valley do take game 1, and they did it clean.